Now we will discuss anxiety and empathy. Anxiety. According to Spielberger, anxiety has been defined as the subjective feeling of tension, apprehension, nervousness, and worry associated with an arousal of the autonomic nervous system. So this is the kind of feeling that one experiences when he or she is not aware of a situation or does not have a control over the situation, or considers this situation as threatening or dangerous. So it's a kind of uneasiness or having apprehensive state of mind or apprehensive feeling. Talking about empathy, it is the process of putting yourself into someone else's shoes, of reaching beyond oneself to understand what another person is feeling. So basically, it is about considering things from somebody else's point of view, relating yourself to someone else's point of view, thinking from his or her point of view, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. So these are two characteristics that also affect the language learning, especially the second language learning. So let's discuss them in detail. Now, looking at the anxiety, we have the research which suggests that anxiety, like self-esteem, can be experienced at various levels. At the deepest or global level, trait anxiety is a more permanent predisposition to be anxious. At a mere momentary or situational level, state anxiety is experienced in relation to some particular event or act. Foreign language anxiety can be distinguished from other types of anxiety, and that it can have a negative effect on the language learning process. The important insight to be applied to our understanding of anxiety lies in the distinction between debilitative and facilitative anxiety. Debilitative anxiety is something which is felt by a person that sees it as interfering in the performance, and facilitative anxiety is a level of anxiety that an individual perceives as facilitating rather hindering or causing apprehension. In common terminology, empathy has been basically described as putting yourself into someone else's shoes. Now, communication requires a sophisticated degree of empathy. In order to communicate effectively, you need to be able to understand the other person's affective and cognitive states. So, the emotional state as well as the mental state. So, if you want to get into a process of meaningful communication, then you have to understand other person's emotional and mental state. Oral communication is a case in which, cognitively at least, it is easy to achieve empathetic communication because there is immediate feedback from the hearer. A misunderstood word, phrase, or idea can be questioned by the hearer and then rephrased by the speaker until a clear message is interpreted. Written communication requires special kind of empathy. A cognitive empathy in which the writer, without immediate feedback, must communicate ideas by means of a very clear intuition and judgment. In second language learning situation, the problem of empathy becomes acute. Not only must learners, speakers correctly identify cognitive and affective sets in the hearer, but they must also do so in a language in which they are insecure. To conclude, anxiety in a language learning is an inability of learner to express the ideas effectively, and empathy is an ability to reach beyond oneself to others.